Guys, Andrew back, Pistol Chronicles, doing another daily driving log. Something exciting happening today. We went ahead with our lever action theory, and we went ahead and picked up a Henry big boy steel configuration in 357 Magnum. So you might be wondering, like, okay, what's the deal? Why are we messing with all of these Henry rifles and what's going on here? Well, guys, you know, I live in California, and I'm not one much to try to sit here and tell you about rebelling and complying or any of the sort of in between. I know those are both opposites, but you know, something that you really need to consider is that this state has a very, very hard time accepting firearms. And every year, including 2016, we have legislation coming our way that constantly undermines the ownership of firearm enthusiasts, owners, Second Amendment supporters, things like that. And our politicians, 9 times out of 10, usually throw us under the bus because they don't give a shit. And that makes it hard to find a quality rifle, whether it be a new AR-15 design. I mean, an AR-15 is an AR-15, we know that, but it just depends on, you know, the manufacturer. There used to be avenues where you could get a good fighting rifle with an AR-15, but it was going to cost you premium because it had to be California approved, which means it had to have a stupid bullet button, it had to have certain features, it had to have whatever in between. So that drives up the price because we need to have those laws adhered to, whether we like it or not. I'm not trying to do 5 to 10 years in prison because I was too upset to fight against the law, because you're gonna lose no matter what happens in the court. But one of the things that often gets overlooked is, and I shouldn't say overlooked, but should probably be dismissed, is lever action rifles. And sure, they're antiquated, sure, they're old, their designs are over 100 years old. You know, you can only usually get between 5 and 10 rounds in a tube-fed magazine. You know, and in that aspect, it becomes very difficult. But for those of us in California who unfortunately have to deal with this for now until something changes, the best way to fight fire with fire is to get a rifle, a fighting rifle, that can work well under maximal allowed capacity. So in this case, 10 rounds. And yes, for those of you that don't live in California, you're like, what the fuck? Why are you guys complying? Blah, blah, blah. Look guys, really, are we gonna have a revolution this very second over this? No, we're thinking out loud, okay? So don't get your panties in a bunch. So what we need to consider is that we need to maximize our space. Consider it a directive. We need to maximize our ammo capacity, which is usually 10 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. And we need to figure out what's the best way to knock down our targets using these 10 rounds. So we all know AR-15s, 223, 556, 300 black, 458 SOCOM, 50 AE. All those cartridges can work in an AR-15, absolutely. Problem is once you start getting into the heavier bullets, the premium becomes higher, because 223, 556, they're usually cap out at about 80 grains. I'm sure you can find some mutant rounds and cartridges that might work that way, but the 223 wasn't designed to work at optimal performance in those weights. Those are just specialty rounds that have a niche for the everyday, or not the everyday user, but the competitive user, if you will. So we're not going to go into those right now, but I figured the best avenue to have a good fighting weapon is to have a rifle in a pistol cartridge. And while there are AR-15s in 9mm, and even in different cartridges, I've seen them in 45 ACP as well. I don't know why you would want an AR-15 in 45 ACP, but hey, you know, if you find a need for it, knock yourself out, man. Rock on. But I personally thought that the best avenue is to have a lever action rifle in a pistol cartridge, because you get the 10 round capacity and you get maximum cartridge velocity out of it as well. you have your choices of everything between 22 long rifle all the way up to, I've seen as high as 50 Smith & Wesson now. Forgot the brand of the rifle that comes out of Alaska, but there's a 50 cal configuration as well. If you want to shoulder that, you know, that's you. And I'm not too far from that myself, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a 4570 Henry here on the channel shortly. So that's a preview of coming events. We have a Henry Big Boy in 357 Magnum now. We're getting a Henry Big Boy steel configuration, the carbine version, in 357 Magnum. Excuse me. And the other part is that now we're going to have two similarly chambered rifles in the same cartridges, yes, but their emphasis is different. The Henry Big Boy in brass is a gorgeous fucking rifle. There's no doubt I'm going to take that to the desert and I'm going to shoot the shit out of it. But here's the problem. That rifle's chunky. Is that something that I'm going to want to run around in my house with as a fighting rifle? Likely not, because I know that octagonal barrel is going to punch right through my drywall should I trip, or should I make a mistake navigating my house and make a wrong turn. The other thing to consider when we talk about home defense and fighting rifle type scenarios is over penetration. And we know 223, 5.56, it gets the job done. Sometimes it can over penetrate, and we're going to have to look for specialty cartridges to make sure that when we use it in a home defense situation, it doesn't over penetrate. So we don't normally look at lever rifles as that fighting home defense configuration, but we can in a Henry carbine. And once I get my hands on the rifle in a couple days, because we still have to wait that stupid ass 10-day waiting period, we're gonna have to wait on that. So I believe we pick it up on the 14th. So on the 14th we'll do a launch video and unboxing and all that stuff for you guys, and that way you can see what the new 2016 Henry Big Boy in steel configuration looks like, and more importantly how much the difference is between steel configuration and brass, the weight difference, and also how much different the 20-inch barrel compared to the 16.5-inch barrel really improves the fighting capacity, or the fighting ability, with that carbine. So we'll do some different range shots, we'll do some different tactical applications with it. We'll probably even sign up for a lever action class so that we can really learn how to run these guns faster and more efficiently, and I think that'll be pretty optimal. But anyways, just wanted to do a quick post today. Hope you guys are having fun. If you have your lever actions, I hope you're out there today. I know it's a gorgeous sunny day today, so we're gonna enjoy the rest of it before we got to go into work tonight. But if you guys have it, you know, let me know what cartridges you guys prefer. I'm working with 357 Magnum now. I should have got 45 Long Colt also, but you know, this is what we're working with. We're very fortunate to have these rifles handed to us, so we're working with what we got. We're not going to complain about it. We're going to maximize our usage. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much the end of it. Stay tuned for the Henry Big Boy carbine coming, and then hopefully at the end of the month or the beginning of next month we can get our hands on a Henry 4570 government, so you have some massive firepower. All right, guys, thanks. Bye.